And it's been a long time in coming. A lot of hard work has gone into this. Many of you have contributed to all of that hard work, and for that, we really thank you and welcome you here. One of the things that's really unique about this project is that being the National Museum of Forest Service History, we are the parent organization for this project. We're a nonprofit organization. We do work very closely with our partner, the U.S. Forest Service, as well as many others. And, we really wanted this project to be special and unique, not only in the stories that we'll be telling in the building, but we wanted the building itself to be special and to be a story in and of itself to help people understand the forest products industry, the products that they manufacture, and the new wave of energy efficient and environmentally friendly products in mass timber. So about 4 years ago, we embarked on a journey to find the perfect architect to help us with this project. We wanted someone that understood our vision, that specialized in mass timber, and boy, were we lucky. We were able to get one of the most renowned mass timber architects in the world, I would say. He wouldn't, but I would. And so I would like to introduce you to the vision behind the building, our architect, Tom Chung, from Lears Weinzappel Associates.
Thank you, Lisa. You're really too kind with your words. I'm incredibly honored to be here.
You need to hold it straight in front of you.
Okay. Can you guys all hear me? Okay. Yes, I'm really incredibly honored to be here today. It's a wonderful occasion. I know that it's been 4 years or so since I've been involved, but I know many on the board have been involved with this project for like more than 20 years. So it's really been a labor of love for all of the people involved, and really just a small piece of that, and honored to be part of it. I want to just talk briefly about two things. One about kind of the important design ideas in the building. I think there's some renderings and images of the building, and I'm sure many of you have seen it. But I also wanted to take some time to just share the path and the journey that I've been on with all the people that have been involved, and because that journey is special. I think in some ways as special as the design of the building, I would say. As many of you know, when we were tasked with designing the building, the board came to us and said, we want this to be an exhibit in itself, the building itself to be an exhibit, part of that exhibit, and really have a wow factor showcase. So with those kind of two larger goals in mind, we got to creatively thinking about the process and the design. And we were really, I think from the beginning, when I visited earlier on and saw the centennial poster of the U.S. Forest Service, and that iconic image of the forest ranger on a horse on top of a mountain surveying and overlooking one of the national forests, and really being a reminder of being that steward, that chief steward of this great gift of the national forest that we have, that's really to be for all of the people of our country. That image really stuck in our minds. And so that evolved in a way to a design where the signature elements of the design are these tree-shaped columns and the folded roof canopy that are, as that evolved, became a way to render that in right now 14 different species of various woods that are emblematic of the national forests in our country. So I think that's one of the really, really special features of the project. I think in addition to that, it's really, I think, in some ways, kind of a love letter to wood construction and wood products. We've tried really hard to incorporate as many wood technologies and products that have been around, some very new and some very old, and some very common and some not so common. So everything from light frame wood construction to solid heavy timber and the beautiful traditional craft and joinery of those type of structures, to mass timber structures that are cutting edge and use computerized digital fabrication like cross-laminated timber, glulam columns and beams, mass plywood panels, as well as products that have had a long-standing involvement and where the U.S. Forest Service Forest Products Lab were instrumental in their development, such as the structurally insulated panels or SIPs. So being primarily and almost all a wood building, essentially, except for the slab on grade of concrete, it will be very, very sustainable, both in its embodied carbon footprint, and we've designed it in a way that it will be very efficient to operate as well. So a little bit on the design there, but I want to share with you a little bit about the process. I've really been impressed by really the passion and the involvement of everybody involved, and especially the board and everyone's. This is a volunteer board that has spent numerous hours and many, many years on this passion project, led by Tom Thompson, who's the current president, and then especially with the procurement team, led by Phil Ani, Rich Stem, and Lynn Sprague. I can't believe that it was amazing to see them at work getting all of the many aspects of the timber materials donated to the project. So thank you very much for that. Two people in particular that I call like jack of all trades because their knowledge is so incredible. Dave Stack and Brian Lees, who have been incredible in their own ways and indispensable in what they've been able to give us and share with us and lead us in the right way. I of course have to share and thank my team at Lears Weinzapfel, in particular Andy Wen and Miriam Karime, who's been with me from the very beginning of this process, and an incredible team of consultants as well. But I'd be remiss if I didn't mention, I think, the most important person to this process, which has been Lisa Tate, Executive Director. Her passion, her persistence, her incredible resolve, leadership is really unmatched. I've never seen anything like this in an executive director of any organization or museum, profit or nonprofit. So I really think, and I'm sure the board knows, we are all lucky to have her here, and I'm lucky that she's my client, but more importantly, through the years of working together, I'm really grateful that she's my friend as well. So thank you, and I think we will pass it on to the next person.
Thank you, Tom. You're going to make me cry there for a minute. Well, you know, we talked about the building and how important this is, but really another equally important component is the exhibition, what goes in the building. You know, the mission of our organization is to share this history and stories of America's conservation legacy, and that's where the exhibition comes in. When we started this project, we wanted to have a world-class museum. We wanted something that people would come to Montana just to see. It was very important for us to tell the whole story, all sides of the story, and for that, we really needed equally as proficient team as Tom's team with the architecture, with the exhibition. And we chose a company named Art Processors. They're based out of Australia, but they have numerous offices in the United States and have done numerous projects in the US. And the art of storytelling and marrying objects with new technology, creating an immersive experience for people that they will remember when they leave and talk about and have them participate in that experience was very important to us. That's the Museum of the Future. And so we have here today Christine Murray from Art Processors, who is going to talk a little bit about the Art Processors' creative passion and their interest in this project. Come on up, Christine.
Thank you, Lisa. I have a little, because I'm a storyteller, I have a little notes here. I just wanted to say many, first of all, thanks. I wanted to say thank you especially to the organizing group that I have been involved in this project since July of 2021. But like Tom said, many of the people that I've been working with, one of the things that I've learned from the Forest Service is that insurmountable things are possible if you really lean on teamwork and collaboration. And that was sort of the key to our experience with being involved in the Conservation Legacy Center so far. So we are what we call a holistic experience design studio. So we marry story, technology, place, and people to create immersive experiences. And the power of immersive storytelling is really that it puts the visitor in the middle of everything. And that really eliminates any kind of them, us, or other, and instead makes it about all of us. And so that was really what we were excited about with the museum here, was that was something from the jump that everybody was really interested in, that connection between past, present, and future, and the people and the land. And that was really our North Star through the whole process. So if you can imagine, I know it sort of all sounds very conceptual, so this beautiful building will exist, and then if you can imagine walking inside of it into what we think of as a forest of stories. And they are everywhere around you, everywhere to explore, and there are all kinds of different ways to learn about those stories. There is a giant digital wall that shows glorious landscapes from around the country of our public lands. There is, for kids, a dinosaur print where you can compare your hand to a dinosaur's tracks that were found in Comanche National Grasslands. There's a tree where you can literally move your hand across tree rings and it releases stories from throughout time. So we have all of these different ways of meeting people where they are, all different kinds of ways of connecting with different kinds of learners, young to grandparents to grandchildren, interactives, reading. We have a lot of personal stories from Forest Service families, from Indigenous stewards of the land, from rangers, from water scientists. So the museum itself will just be full of this rich kind of immersive storytelling. And in order to get there, because there's a 1,000 million stories you could tell, I worked with this incredible team that was so generous in sharing their knowledge. And so I just wanted to shout out all of their names. It's going to take me a minute here because there were quite a lot of people. First of all, Lisa Tate, extraordinaire. Tom Peterson, James Wall, Dave Stack. These were kind of like the core people that we were doing a lot of logistics stuff with. And then our board members, who were all volunteers and who gave so much of their time over this 3-year process of really culling down all the stories that we were going to put inside the museum and then figuring out how we were going to tell those stories. So Liz, Dale, Dave Stanky, Lynn, Fred, Andy Mason, John Stephenson, but most of all, Tom Thompson, who was hand in hand there, chose every story, fought every fight for the best stories to be in that museum. It was really, really amazing. We started in 2021 with a workshop where I wrote these words down. It was July 2021, and the very first exercise we did, we asked all of these board members to write down 3 words that they hoped people would use when they were describing the museum after visiting. And those words were amazed, inspired, and proud. Proud of service, and proud of country, and proud of these public lands. So I really feel that way today, amazed, inspired, and proud, and I think we're well on our way to giving that experience to all of the visitors who are going to be here before we know it, experiencing these wonderful stories. So I just want to say thank you for your generosity, for teaching me so much about the work of the Forest Service, and for being so creative and such great collaborators and partners. We at Art Processors, there's a whole lot of people standing behind me. It's not just me. Visual designers, media designers, physical designers, graphic designers, so all kinds of folks. So I just want to say all of us are intensely proud of the work that we've done together, and it would not have been possible if it wasn't a collaborative partnership. So thank you for that, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. And the other thing about having this project be successful is having a construction firm that not only was interested in our project, but was excited about our project. A construction firm that wanted to really embrace mass timber and get involved and help us throughout the process find a way that we could do what we needed and wanted to do, and that is Dick Anderson Construction. So I would like to invite Alan Frankel up to say a few words.
Thanks, Lisa. First, I'd just like to say, wow, what a great turnout here today. It's a wonderful day. It's very exciting for all of us. Again, I'm Alan Frankel with Dick Anderson Construction, and I'm here to represent the amazing team of construction men and women that are going to turn this project into reality for the foundation, for the board, and the designers and everybody else who has long awaited this facility. I'd like to start by sharing a story with you today. In 2010, we awarded a contract to rehabilitate the Dominion Creek Railroad Trestle. The Dominion Creek train trestle is along the old Great Northern Railway, near where the Hiawatha Trail starts here in western Montana. The trestle was built in the early 1900s. One of the first things we had to do is remove the ballast and the concrete ballast tubs from the top of the trestle. And what we found is on each one of these sections of concrete, there's a date etched in the concrete from the day that they place it. So on August 10th, 2010, we uncovered and removed the very first section of the concrete ballast sections. The date scratched into that ballast section was 8/10/10. How serendipitous was that? Exactly 100 years to the day, we removed the section that was placed there. So you may say, well, what a great story, but how does that have any relevance to what we're here for today? For me personally, this event sent me down a path of uncovering the history of that train trestle and the railroad. What I stumbled upon was an amazing story of what happened that exact same day that we removed that first section of concrete. August 10th, 1910. It was the first day the first fire started in that area. 10 days later, that fire, among many others, erupted into the most, or at least one of the most significant fire events that happened in our history, the 1910 fires. That fire had a significant role in shaping the Forest Service as we know it today, and the forest lands conservation legacy that we're here to celebrate today. Projects like the National Museum of Forest Service History are the types of projects that truly define builders. This groundbreaking is not about the beginning of bricks and mortar construction. It's about the beginning of the preservation of our history and the conservation of our public forest lands. Today, we're breaking ground on a facility that will be enjoyed by our families, friends, community members, and visitors from throughout our great nation. To be part of the amazing team that will bring to life this facility that will be enjoyed by the public for generations to come makes us very excited and extremely proud. We sincerely thank you all for being here today and look forward to a ribbon cutting in the near future with you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I can say that in the time that we have worked with Dick Anderson Construction, they have been a fabulous team of professionals, and it's been a really joyful experience. So next we have Dave Strohmeyer, who I've asked to speak because of our partnership with Missoula County. They have been supportive of this project for decades and really appreciate their support, but also would like to have them talk about their interest in the project. So Dave?
All right, thank you, Lisa, and thank you all for being here today. On behalf of the Missoula Board of County Commissioners, welcome to both Missoula County, if you are not from Missoula County, and welcome to this location of what will be a truly breathtaking institution, facility, museum for the entire American populace. So as part of a little bit of level setting, I want to think about the history of conservation in the United States in America. This place where we are located today, the history of conservation here stretches back actually to time immemorial, to the receding waters of glacial Lake Missoula, when the indigenous peoples of this place were the land managers, were the stewards here. Fast forward centuries, millennia, to the first decade of the 20th century and the arrival of the U.S. Forest Service, and the defining role that the U.S. Forest Service has played in the history of both cultural history and environmental history and conservation in this country. It's a complex story. It's a story of great successes, of colossal failures at times, but of an evolving sense and understanding of what it means to conserve resources, public resources in this country, to the benefit of the greatest number of people, and also of being land stewards, model land stewards for this nation. I suspect that many of you in this audience here today share a personal connection with the U.S. Forest Service. I know my personal story of connectedness to land management and conservation stretches back to when I worked on the Ochiko National Forest in Oregon, to the 9 Mile Ranger District here on the Lolo, to working for a remote, as a remote employee out of the Washington, D.C. office of the U.S. Forest Service. Thankfully for me and for my family, located here out of the regional office in Missoula, Montana. And something that Christine mentioned earlier that I think is worth an exclamation point is that what has brought us here today to this point is a sense of a can-do attitude that really defines the ethos and the mission of the U.S. Forest Service. So this accomplishment here is emblematic of the work of the agency for which this new National Conservation Legacy Center will be an interpretive site. Lisa also mentioned Gary Brown. I was going to mention him too because I distinctly remember what seemed like decades, which I guess actually was decades ago, sitting in meetings with Gary, talking about this vision and thinking I'm somewhat ashamed of it at the time now, but thinking to myself, is this ever really going to be possible? And I think what Gary's vision, what the hard work of all of you who chose to roll up your sleeves rather than simply wringing your hands demonstrates is that we can dream big, we can accomplish big, bold visions, and that is what is happening here today. I will say this is the second groundbreaking ceremony I have been at today. Just immediately before this, I was out at the animal control facility for the city of Missoula and Missoula County, where we were breaking ground on a new animal shelter. We had a similar pile of dirt there, but we actually had a dog that helped dig into the pile. I was thinking after seeing this that maybe we should have had Smokey Bear out here to help dig a burrow, but maybe Smokey can be at the ribbon cutting. So with that, I just want to say thank you again for being here. Thank you for all of your hard work over many, many years and decades, and let's break some ground today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. There are a couple of other individuals that have really helped contribute to this project. They couldn't be here today, but we do have representatives from both Senator Tester and Senator Daines' office. They offered bipartisan support for this project, to which we will be forever grateful. So I'd like to start by introducing Arthur Pettit from Senator Daines' office.
Hi, I'm Arthur with Senator Tester's office.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, all
Sorry.
good. The senator, of course, wishes he could be here in person, but asked me to share if you were really close.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll like eat the mic. Hello, and congratulations on this important groundbreaking. A special thank you to everyone at the National Museum of Forest Service History for their work to bring this project to Montana. In Montana, our great outdoors are central to our communities and our identity. And just as important is the mission to ensure that these lands are preserved for the next generation. That's why, as your senator, I've been proud to work alongside conservationists, outdoor enthusiasts, and advocates to protect and preserve all the treasures in the Treasure State, like my Made in Montana Blackfoot Clearwater Stewardship Act to protect tens of thousands of acres of land in Montana, my Montana Headwaters Legacy Act to protect hundreds of miles of Montana's most iconic rivers, and passage of the Great American Outdoors Act to secure full, permanent funding for the Land and Water Conservation Fund. It's also why I was proud to support funding to make the National Conservation Legacy Center a reality. Our conservation stories are a vital part of our nation's history and serve as an important guidebook to help us shape the path forward. This state-of-the-art museum is going to be a valuable addition to Missoula and will help ensure all Montanans understand the hard work and dedication behind the breathtaking land and waters we enjoy. So congratulations and enjoy the celebration. I look forward to seeing all this project will do for Missoula and Montana. Thank you, and please know my door is always open.
Thank you, Arthur. And now I would like to introduce Kristen Kukin from Senator Tester. No, just kidding. From Senator Daines' office. Thank you for being here.
Thank you. A little switcheroo today. Dear friends, thank you for the opportunity to share a few words with you all as we gather to celebrate this groundbreaking ceremony of the National Conservation Legacy Center right here in Missoula. This momentous occasion marks the beginning of a visionary project. It will stand as a testament to our nation's enduring commitment to conservation and stewardship. Since its establishment in 1905, the U.S. Forest Service has been at the forefront of America's conservation efforts. Yet until now, there's been no central repository to showcase vital pieces of history, preserve significant artifacts to honor the many individuals and stories that have shaped our approach to conservation. The National Conservation Legacy Center will fill this gap, providing a central exhibition hall where the achievements and lessons over a century of conservation efforts can be recognized and celebrated. The National Conservation Legacy Center is poised to become a world-class museum, cultural hub dedicated to celebrating and educating the public about America's rich conservation history. This state-of-the-art facility will feature cutting-edge participatory and immersion experiences that bring history to life. By creating interactive exhibits and multi-sensory environments, visitors will engage in a way that a traditional museum cannot, enabling them to actively participate and deeply understand the legacy of conservation in our country. Thank you for your commitment to preserving America's natural heritage and for your support of this transformative project. Let us move forward with the shared goal of honoring our rich conservation history while implanting it in the hearts of future generations. Sincerely, U.S. Senator Steve Daines.
Thank you so much. I really would love to thank and have another round of applause for our congressional delegates that were so supportive of this project. We couldn't have done it without them. And now I would like to ask Keith Lannon from the U.S. Forest Service. I wanted to showcase the adaptability of the agency by switching up the agenda without telling him.
Right. It's short. It's only 3 sentences. So, and I'm Keith Lanham. I'm an acting associate deputy chief. Washington, but like Dave, I've got the best job in the Forest Service. I get to live here in Missoula while I'm working for the WL. So, since 1988, the National Museum of the Forest Service History has made it their mission to preserve and share history of the U.S. Forest Service and its many partners. We value this partnership and appreciate the many years of hard work this nonprofit organization has contributed to the mission of sharing the history and stories of America's conservation and legacy. I'm proud to be here today. I'm a big Forest Service history buff, so I'm really proud to be here today to say thank you and congratulations on the long-awaited dream of building the National Conservation Legacy Center, which will take the public's understanding of conservation to a whole new level. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And now I would like to introduce President Tom Thompson, who's going to talk a little bit more about this project and the effort that it's taken to get here. And I would like to reiterate what many the speakers have already said, that without Tom's leadership, this project would not have been possible.
Thanks, Lisa. Not long ago, I was told that when you're using this mic, you got to pretend like it's a bottle of beer. And that's so. Some of these folks haven't had practice in that, but you can notice I'm going to be really good at it. As we close out this beginning of the groundbreaking for this building that we've been working so hard for, I'd just like to say what a wonderful day. And we've mentioned the board several times, and I'd just like to have board members stand up, or if you're standing up, just wave away so people know who you are. What a great group of people this is. And as Christine said, they do know how to work together, and most of them have had lots of practice. They've had 30 or 40 years working for the Forest Service, and it's one thing you learn is you got to work together if you're going to get anything done. What a wonderful day. This is such a special day, as has already been said by several speakers before. It's a day that we envisioned many years ago, but it really wasn't ready to happen until today. This day happened because of you. It happened because so many people believed in it and were willing to roll up their sleeves and help make it happen. As Gary Brown probably would have said, nothing comes easy. You guys in the Forest Service have got to learn from the state forester that this is important to do and you need to do it. And he kept that message going. So in honor of Gary, we're so indebted to it happened also because of hard work, and I mean really, really hard work. Hours upon hours upon hours, of days upon days of not only trying to figure out how to do it and where to do it and how to bring about the funds to do it, but also just to keep a focus on why we're doing it. Why we're doing it is not because of us. It's because of tomorrow. It happened because of vision and perspective, patience and persistence, and persistence, and persistence, and persistence, and patience, as more and more of that. It happened because so many donors were willing to step forward and to help us. Over half of the funds that we raised comes from Forest Service retirees. And that is, in my mind, just an amazing statistic. It really is amazing that we were able to do so well amongst our Forest Service retirees, who, as all of us know, pensions aren't exactly the highest in the sectors. This happened today because of a small but powerful staff led by Lisa. They've worked hard for the last 6 or 7 years leading the charge. And it really takes push to keep a group of volunteers focused on the important things that need to be done. It happened, I think, also because most of us that are involved with it realized if it doesn't happen now, it likely will never happen. And I think that's just so true. It just had to happen. There just isn't enough words to describe how thankful and appreciative we are of the great support that we've had. I guess really about all we can say is thank you, and thank you, and thank you for all of your support. Partners, members, people who just have come together to say this is so important for this agency, for the United States Forest Service, to have a place to celebrate, to have a place to remember, and to have a place to learn, and to have a place to really focus on all the good work that's been going on for the last 120 some years plus. I think for those of us that are on the board, so many of us, this day is really almost surreal. We've been working on this for so long, it's almost impossible for us to get our head around that it's actually going to happen. It's actually going to happen. Even though we've believed it, it really is almost a surreal feeling of, gosh, could it really be? Could it really be? It is. And we're going to break ground to signify that it is really going to happen. I would be remiss if I said that we're done, because there's still work to be done. We still have funds to raise for some of the exhibits. We'll continue to have support, need support from many sectors. I just want to say thank you for all of you for being here, and I want to thank again Lisa for all that she's done to lead us the last 6 or 7 or 8 years, and the experience that she's brought is just amazing as to the quality and the dedication that she has inherited from us and that we've inherited from her. So thank you, Lisa, very much. And with that, let's get some dirt dug.
I wanted to say one last thing before we grab the shovels. Tom talked about inheritance, and I wanted to say that thanks to these folks right here, I inherited the work ethic and the can-do attitude. So thanks, Mom and Dad. And we'd like to invite all of you to come up and join us while we grab some of these golden shovels and take our first scoop of dirt.
And then pass it on. Yeah, then pass it on to the board members that didn't get it yet.
Good job, Rich. Get him.
Marshal Forces, let's get you for a big still shot here. Everybody line in.
Yeah.
I see a lot of cameras, so.
Yeah, get all the board together for a picture.
Pose shot now.
Before you go back,
We all need
we
that
need a board
still.
picture. Pat, we need a board picture.
Tight. A little tighter in here.
Here, Fred, you want me to take it with your camera?
You don't actually need to dig with this. Just look good.
Where's Dick?
Just look happy. That's what we do.
Hey, good. Yeah, Dick, let's get in there for the board picture.